Now, I've never been a huge fan of shotguns and Phantom Forces, but I think the Spas-12 might change that. Because this thing is cracked, I love it. So essentially, the Spas-12 is a semi-automatic shotgun with a ton of different attachments, so you can actually use a lot of different playstyles with it. And it's got really good range for a shotgun. Like you'll see in a lot of these clips, I'm hitting hella mid-range shots, but things like the Saiga just can't do that. Now, as for sights, you could really use anything you want, but me personally, I use the alt aim where it puts it in the center of your screen. You just have to press T twice. It's actually quite nice. I prefer that, especially if you have a laser on it. For barrel, I'd recommend you run a choke, something that's going to decrease the spread, but I run suppressor most of the time because I think suppressors are hella underrated, and it's so funny watching nobody notice you when you're standing right next to them. And it makes multi-kills really easy. As for grips, I use skeleton grip, but you can also just use a laser. I just like being able to ADS fast. For the other category, you can either use a laser or the pump action setting. So the pump action setting just makes it a pump action instead of a semi-shotgun. And honestly, it's pretty good. It tightens up the spread a little bit, but slows down the RPM, but they're both very viable. Like, it's easier to spam people down with the semi, but you get a little extra range, just you have to be a little more accurate. And for the age-old question, birdshot versus flechette, I'd personally pick flechette. Now, birdshot's still good, but for me personally, I hate not being able to wallbang. And anytime I get killed because I couldn't wallbang or couldn't kill someone who's head peeking, like, I just immediately switched to flechette. Like, I can't deal with it. So, personally, I would go with flechette. But I really don't think you'll go wrong with either, or even just default ammo. They're all pretty good. I just noticed the most consistency with flechette. And as for secondaries you can use with this gun, personally I use the SAS-308 because the Spas has like 9 shots and it's going to be able to kill like anything close to mid-range. So personally, I prefer a secondary that can take people out long range. Now, how does it compare to other shotguns? Honestly, extremely well. Now again, I barely use shotguns. The Spas-12 is the only thing I've used consistently in like years, but that's for a reason. Compared to something like the Saiga, it has so much better spread, so much better range too, and it has nearly the same fire rate, so it's like, why would I even use the Saiga when I could just use the Spas? And personally, I feel like close range bound shotguns are just terrible. Like, I do not like the AA-12 at all. It is not fun. Constraining yourself to close range, especially as extreme as that, is just not a good idea in a game like Phantom Forces where pretty much all the maps are a mix of ranges. But I feel like the Spas-12 is able to navigate that well because you can kill people past 100 studs if you need to. It's quite nice. Now, would I pick the Spas over meta automatics or snipers? Probably not. I just think that shotguns in general just still are not the most reliable weapons because it's really hard to kill head peekers and people who are partly behind cover, which is really important and something that automatics and snipers can do really well for the most part. But again, a lot of people really do like shotguns, and if you're a shotgun fan, try this one out. I guarantee you it's one of the best. That's about all I got though, so I will see you later and subscribe.